Hi guys, Puddin here with the game for you, my Tier 9 Royal Navy or British destroyer, the Jutland. Now, my captain skill is going to be Priority Target, Adrenaline Rush, Last Stand, Survivability Expert, Superintendent, IFHE, and Concealment. My upgrades or modules are going to be Protect My Main Battery, Faster Engine Repair or Protection, Aim, Faster Turning Rudder, Concealment, and Longer Shooting Main Batteries. Now, the reason I go with the range mod over something else is I like to keep the turret traverse as high as possible on the ship. I believe it's like a 9-second turret turn, and if you slap on reload, you don't get, your turrets turn a little bit slower. Now, I know Wargaming has said they kind of put these in, or their line of thinking is these are very defensive ships. I prefer to look at these things as these are the best support destroyers in the game. Now, there is only one radar in this game. I believe it is a Des Moines on the enemy team, which is why I'm not taking a more aggressive approach to A. The other thing is I do try to play this a little bit more as a support. You support the cap. You don't necessarily have to get the cap, but just keep things spotted and push away DDs when you can. So I'm going to take a more angled approach for a couple reasons. One, because it's going to support the team, get early spots off, and potentially get a destroyer maybe catch a destroyer that's trying to sneak in. Number two, I am sort of alone right now. I really don't have any support. Most of my support cannot hit this Hindenburg, as you can see by the lack of shells going in on him. But I am, I know I'm the only one spotting him because, shells are finally coming in. But just from the position of him, the position of the team, looking at the minimap, which is why I slowed down kind of to a stop. I haven't been spotted yet. I believe location came off of me, and I just wanted to keep this guy spotted. Now, the DD must have came in from the other side, or we just missed each other. Now, I'm sending single fire torps in this area because I don't want him to post up in that spot. I either want him to eat all these and die, which is preferably, or to push out and have one of these guys finish him. I don't want to get detected by him, so there's no reason to really just sit there. As I go back to, which would be widespread for this, but just a narrow spread. Now, luckily for us, we did have the Z in the area, which means this guy is getting cross-torped. He has to avoid my torpedoes while trying to dodge the Z. So I decided to smoke up and take a couple pop shots because I knew finally I wasn't the one spotting him. As I get a devastating strike on a Lightning, who apparently believes my torpedoes did a 90-degree turn around the corner because he doesn't understand how torpedoes work, which ironically, he's playing a destroyer. He could see that, I'm the one who killed him. There's 4 DDs, or there were. You gotta think one of the other ones is over here. Now, JFK is making a huge mistake, or what I believe is a huge mistake. He's coming out to YOLO Rush a Republic. It's the start of the game. It's still early. Oh no, we lost the Republic. Not the best thing, but they lost the gearing. They traded a gearing for a Republic. He easily could have just kept him spotted all game, sending torps and potentially get him, but instead he decided to come out, throw his life away, and kill the Republic. That was a great trade for our team. Republic, maybe not the best trade for him personally, but even he acknowledged it was worth it. It was worth it because we have the destroyer advantage now. Their tier 10 DD sacrificed himself for no good reason. He could have easily just went out the same way he came in and still been alive supporting the team over at D. But instead, he threw himself away. Now, that means 3 ships on this side died, which means the last 2 DDs have to be over by D. Now, you see me slowing down because I'm typing. I don't exactly want to maintain a full speed while I'm trying to type. Potentially running around and make the situation worse. It's just easier for me to put it at quarter. Keep moving. I'm on cap. There's no rush for me to push out of here. All I want to do is support these guys. Now, I will say the Jean Bart, however you want to say it, is making the correct call if you're paying attention to the minimap. He didn't turn to come into A. I want to say 90% of the time when you watch these games on Sleeping Giant, or when you're in them, the battleships that go in A never ever seem to come out of A. It's tight quarters in here. It's tight even for a DD and some cruisers, but for a battleship, it's even, it's even tighter. There's really no maneuverability, and if something just keeps you spotted, you can just be HE spammed all day long from D without ever being spotted. You go on the outside like this gentleman is, you have all the room in the world to turn around and run away or kite if you need to, depending on what the situation is. Now, I do believe I let the Z know, hey man, smoke up, shoot the guy if you want. His smoke lasts longer than mine, so I'll spot. Once again, just trying to support the team. I don't need to be the one doing all the damage. I just need to get the correct amount of damage, at the right time. Like, those torps on the Lightning were extremely lucky. They weren't skill. They were skill in the fact of I was trying to bait out the Hindenburg from staying in the situation, which it did, which allowed everyone else to get hits on him and kill him, and then luckily the Lightning, for whatever reason, failed to avoid torps that were spotted for a while, quite honestly. Now, the Z doesn't want to smoke up, so you know what? I will. I might as well get some damage in, because you know what? Why not? Every little bit helps when you're trying to kill battleships. Well, actually, every little bit helps against everything, and you know what? 30 seconds is better than no seconds. As the team finishes off the Musashi. Now, I'm actually targeting the Hindenburg. I don't know why the replay is showing the Ibuki. The reason, or how you can tell that I'm actually targeting the Hindenburg, is you can tell by the dispersion of my shells, and that they're actually landing on the Hindenburg. They're not landing all around him. I'm getting several shells to land on him. I'd rather get rid of the Hindenburg because Hindenburg HE is going to do a lot of damage to me. Now, the other thing is we know where the last DD is. We know he's over by D. Last known position, and it's not been that long since he wasn't spotted as our Moskva finishes off the Ibuki. Now, I'm having a little bit of a trouble actually seeing over this island to actually get shots on Hindenburg, but you know what? I'm getting shots on him. As I said, another fire. Now, what I'm going to do is try to send area of deniement torps. I'm just going to send them single fire, single torps at a time, because this is a very narrow channel. I don't believe these are going to hit anything. I do believe they were targeting the Yamato, but like say he turned in to come in this way, there are some torpedoes to potentially get him to turn in a different direction. Now, the thing with these single launch torpedoes, it's very, very difficult to tell which direction the destroyer was going in when he launched them, because normally when you launch them is a narrow spread. You can tell by the last one. The first and last one give you the indication of where he's going. Just because when you drop them, there are technically not all dropped at the same time. There's a slight delay on these, which is why you will see an angle on them, and that tells you the direction that the destroyer is going in. When it comes to single fire, it could be any direction because there's really no clear indicator. Now, hindsight is 2020. I probably should have dropped smoke for this Neptune, because nice shot by the Yamato. Our Musashi gonna make somewhat of a mistake. There's no reason for him to push up. There's no reason. We have ship advantage. I'm not a big fan of it, but what he needed to do was stop, reverse. Just stop and reverse. Just hold your position. You have an island shielding you from the ships to the north. I believe the Yamato might be able to get shots on you, but it's the black. The black's the only one actively shooting at you. I'm trying to keep him spotted. I'm trying to spot any potential torps coming his way, as here comes torps, even though my hydro, I wasn't using it. And this is the cheeky thing about black torps. They are so slow. Look at where he was compared to when they launched. Quite a bit distance away. And I'm just trying to keep the black spotted for the Hindenburg. I have help. So does he, but he's, his help is focused up north. Now I'm trying to torp the north side of this island because I believe this is the direction he's going to go. I don't believe he's going to go south. I believe he's going to go north, just by watching the way he's constantly turning. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this island against him. The black has radar. I believe it's 7.2 kilometers. It doesn't last extremely long, but he has radar. Usually what happens when a black gets spotted, they slow down, smoke up radar, and then just punish whatever DD is spotting them. So I'm using this island to my advantage. I can hide behind it, come out, and hopefully finish him up. I believe he's going to go to the north, which is why I'm keeping my guns that way, but I was going slow enough to where if he did come around to the south, I could easily turn. And here we go. A black is slowing down, smoking up, and there's the radar. Now, he did get a couple cheeky hits on me, but look. Right to the island, he can't shoot me. This is a wasted radar for him. It was a well thought out plan by me, if you ask me, of course. And look, here comes his torpedoes. So, his torpedoes are going to delay me from pushing out, but at the end of the day, I still have health. Help and health over him. I'm gonna pop my heel, just, well, why not? If he does get any more cheeky shots, just gonna heal that up. And now that the torpedoes have passed me, I'm going to push them. I still have the Hindenburg helping me. Now, what you're gonna see is something that I usually do preach. Always shoot at a destroyer, even if it's not the best shot. Unless you have something that you could potentially devastate, try to take the shot in on the DD, because every little bit helps. All I'm trying to do is support the Hindenburg by spotting this destroyer and now shooting him, because I have health and help. He's down to a quarter. I'm still 3/4-ish. But what you're going to see is the Hindenburg didn't get very much damage, but he got enough damage to where I had to fire one less salvo. One less salvo means less damage I have to take, and the faster he dies. The Hindenburg could have potentially finished him off there, but he didn't, and I was able to. But once again, one less salvo makes my job easier. Now I want to try to keep this Yamato spotted. I also want to try to cap D. I don't believe we're going to get, what is that, B, just because there is a Des Moines there, and the Des Moines is an extremely good spot. And for the most part, the Yamato's got decent shots on the cruiser that is actually capping it, and he's actually shooting at the guy on the cap. Now, hindsight 2020, I make small little mistake possibly, or error of judgment, but at this point we don't know if the Des Moines has radar. I don't know if he's saving it for something. I don't know if he's already used it. I don't know what's going on with the Des Moines radar. The Yamato, I was going to send torps. He's reversing. These are never going to catch him. Even if I was within 10 kilometers, he's reversing. As you can see, he's just putting distance between us. Now, I take a position up at this island, and I should have been positioned more towards going after the Yamato instead of trying to get quickly behind the island. I could have reversed behind the island, but like I said, I wasn't aware of the Des Moines radar. I see that I'm about to cap this, so I'm like, you know what, okay, I'm just going to back up, go after the Yamato. I'm going to get this, and at this point, there's nothing I can do if he decides to radar. I want to support my team. I'm going to try to keep the Des Moines and Yamato spotted. Now, luckily, chat went away, because if chat is constantly going, I tend to ignore it and focus on what I'm doing. But I'm going to start shooting the Yamato. Somebody says, you know, can I start lobbying? Or can anybody start shooting at the Yamato? So I'm kind of paying attention to chat. And then somebody says, you know, shoot the Yamato to our Des Moines. Which means nobody's actually able to hit the Des Moines. So, you know what? I might as well start taking pot shots on him. Because if he's just going to sit there, he's just going to die to 1,000 paper cuts. Number 2, I have a Hindenburg that is still behind me that is actually taking shots on him. So while my little damage isn't exactly the most, it's still going to be less damage somebody else has to get. Is our Des Moines gets him. Now, I want to say I fat-fingered my smoke here while I hit my repair, but let's just go with the theory of I was smoking up the Hindenburg, because that sounds a lot better than I fat-fingered. Now, I am going to come around this island, spot the Yamato, because, you know what, I've, for the most part, just been supporting our team by spotting and shooting at stuff at the correct time. I'm dropping my torps because, well, 26,000 for these guys to burn through is going to take some time. There's really no reason for me to shoot other than the guy is going to shoot at one of these 2 cruisers, and I just want to get his attention to maybe have him shoot at me. Somebody tells the Hindenburg to shoot AP, which may have been the correct call or not. Not exactly sure from the angle, but my torps are going to come home and do the job and finish off the Yamato. And now we're going to check out the post-battle results. Now, I hope you guys enjoyed this replay, and I hope you took something away from this. You know, sometimes just by playing your ship and just supporting your team, you can still walk away with some really good results. It's really all I did. I didn't do anything impressive. I didn't do impressive numbers, and I didn't get impressive amount of kills, and I didn't get impressive medals. I just did my job and supported my team. We do appreciate all the support you guys do give us. We do love the replays you send in. The email for that is in the description down below. The other thing is, I do believe we are doing a stream on Friday at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. I forget, Spider is in charge of that. I believe those 2 idiots are going to reveal their face. I will not, because 1, I don't have a camera, and 2, who cares what I look like? It's all about gameplay, in my opinion. Please remember to compliment good teamwork, good team play. We are quick to report, slow to compliment. Please hit that like and subscribe button, and have yourselves one of a great day and a good Thanksgiving.